Practice community.
Okay, lovely. And I'm just gonna move my stuff around a little bit. I would like to invite you to come into a seated shape. And if you wanna be seated on a block or on a cushion, go for it. Allow the palms to be face down as an intention of groundedness. Or let the palms be face up as an intention of openness. Take deep breaths in and out and allow your breath to fill your body. Fill your lungs, fill your heart space with air. So I don't know who here follows Mercury retrograde or knows what that means, but Mercury retrograde is a time period in which the planet Mercury appears to move backwards. And it's a time when things go wrong, communication, technology. And Mercury retrograde is just ending right now. So if you've had a challenging few weeks, could be due to that. It's also the new moon. And there's one more fact related to astrology that I cannot remember. But whatever that thing is, those few things combined makes this a really impactful time period for new beginnings. So even though 2023 started 2 weeks ago, it's really starting right now. So in your stillness, connecting to your breath, anchoring to this moment, I want to invite you to think about what are some of my intentions for the next month, few months, or year? Knowing that you can start again anytime, but especially now. Let's take our right palm. What you're going to do with your right palm is take your peace fingers, so the two fingers you would use to make a peace sign, you're going to press them on your third eye, which is the space between your eyebrows. Plug through your right nostril and inhale through your left. Now plug through your left nostril, exhale through your right. Inhale through your right. Plug through the right nostril, exhale left. Keep going like this, directing your prana, your life force. The inhales and the exhales. Directing them through Ida and Pingala, which are the right and the left energy channels. Take one more round of breath. Make sure you finish this by exhaling on the left. And then just release your right palm. Take a full inhale. Full exhale. Full inhale. Full exhale. Allow the eyes to flicker open. So we're going to begin this practice with a little bit of hip opening. So I'm going to cross my right ankle over my left thigh and leave my left foot where it is. So I'm making this figure four just like this, seated. Now, a few different options. I'm using my hands as a little kickstand, but we are going to be here for a moment. So if you would like to, you might just like support yourself with a wall. Or if you want to deepen the stretch, you might take it into fire log pose. Now, how you're going to do fire log is you're going to lay your left shin across the width of the mat and allow both shins to stack. And actually, I'm just going to sit with my back against the wall because it feels really good. So basically, you want to create this like stacking of shin upon shin. So the biggest error I see here is that people's ankles are too far across or they're too far back and then they're like not getting the stretch. You basically want to create this sweet spot where your ankle is stacking directly above the thigh and you should feel this deep stretch in your outer right hip. And if you're not feeling anything or it's not quite right, you can always come back to this variation. Actually, this one feels a little bit deeper for me today. I think I might stay in this one. So it's like a highly personal practice and experience. You just find what suits you, what works for you. I'm gonna roll up this strap while I'm doing this because it's just like lying here in a little pile to the side. So I don't know what your intentions are for 2023, but I want to tell you a little bit about mine, about my journey. So I have done vision boards and manifestation and all of this stuff kind of religiously since I decided I was going to get sober and quit my teaching job. So in 2019, I met my psychic, Dan, who many of you know. And he told me that I was going to be doing what I'm doing now. Create my business, move to Bali, be a healer. And it was that visualization that set me into like go mode, like really serious focus. Let's take one more round of breath. And then we're going to switch things up. So we're going to release the right foot, release the left foot. Just rock your feet from side to side. And then go the opposite way. So crossing your left ankle. And you could go into your fire log if you want to. I'm quite happy staying up here because I feel like I'm getting a really nice deep stretch today right here. So anyway, I became obsessive with building the mindful life practice. And the truth is, if you want to build a business, if you want to become an entrepreneur, you have to work really, really hard, especially if you're in the scenario where I was working, where I had a full-time job. I didn't have any financial resources to quit my job. So I knew I had to work super, super, super hard in order to build my community enough that I could be doing what I'm doing today. So enough so I could quit my job and do this full time. And it took me, I think, about 2.5 years. Maybe it was just 2 years from the moment I met Dan until 3 years. It was May 2019. Maybe 2 years. Anyway, the point is, but I'm here now at this point where I've built this community and I've worked really hard, and every other part of my life has fallen apart. So I haven't dated in 3 years. I've lost a lot of my friends. I didn't see my family in 3 years. I'm just starting to see them for the first time. And, it was all worth it to me, but I started 2023 with this big vision board process and this big list, and I did the same thing I did in the past, which is, I put on my list, I want to get a book publishing deal and do a TED Talk and be featured in this magazine and do this stuff for YouTube. And then about a week into 2023, I realized, I've done everything that I really want to do at this point, career-wise. And the rest is going to come when it's meant to. But what's really important to me in 2023 is that I take care of the rest of my life, which has fallen to the wayside. So I find a partner. I build friendships. I reconnect with my family. And so if you're part of the Sober Girls Yoga Facebook group, you know that I've made a challenge to go on 50 dates in 2023, and I'm writing about all the dates to hold myself accountable. Let's take about 3 more breaths where we are. And then just release your left foot, and you can rock your knees from side to side. Now I invite you to bring your soles of feet together. Let your body lengthen straight up. Take a big inhale. And then walk your hands all the way forward. We're coming into a butterfly. And if you want to, you might use a block. I'm going to take a block for myself and place the block down and place my forehead on my block. So the reason why I share this story with all of you is because I had really big goals and really big dreams for 2023. And then about 7 days into it, I scrapped all those goals and realized that the small things to me are what's more important. You can start again at any point. It doesn't have to be January 1st.
Stay in the butterfly shape for about 5 more breaths. And then we're going to move into some deep quad stretching. So you can come all the way up, just slide your block to the side, bring your knees in, give your body a sweet and soft little hug. Good. And then for the next posture, I would like to invite you to explore bringing your knees together, letting the toes go a bit wide and sitting your hips between your heels. I'm just turning backwards so you can see me. And if this does not feel good for you, you might sit on a block. Now, I just want to point out something really important about this pose is that if your toes are going out towards the side, that's not good for your knees. You want your toes going directly back in space so that they are in line with your knees. So they're going straight back behind you, not going out to the side. If they're going out to the side and this isn't comfortable for you, you could just do a quad stretch on your belly, which is going to be less pressure for your knees. And I'll just quickly show you that. So if you want to do it on your belly, you can come forward and just push a palm down like that, okay? Now, if you are seated upright, you may even decide to come all the way back onto your back, and maybe not. Maybe you lift your arms up, maybe not. Just choosing what's most suitable for you. Good, let's stay wherever you are for about 5 more rounds of breath. And then bring your body to come all the way up to seated.
releasing your legs. We're gonna do one more seated shape and then one reclined shape. So I'm gonna come up to sit on my yoga block. This is a limited edition yoga block, by the way. We made Mindful Life practice yoga blocks and yoga mats. We made samples and then no one ordered them. So I have the one block and Yasser has the one mat. I think he's on the mat right now. Okay, let's drop our right earlobe down towards our right shoulder. And then maybe you take the right palm, place it on the skull. Good, take a few more breaths. And lift the head all the way up. And then let's switch it to the other way. So drop your left earlobe and stretch through the right side of the neck. Oh my goodness, my neck feels so sore. Just notice what you notice about what's going on with you. Your body, your experience. Lift your head all the way up. Let's finish with one last thing before we go into Khaled's meditation. So we're gonna scooch our bottom towards the wall or a piece of furniture and just lift your legs all the way up. Let your back body rest down. Let your palms be anchored on the belly or releasing towards the side. This is called Viparita Karani. This is legs up the wall. This is Carrie's favorite pose. Actually, one of my favorite pictures, I should get that picture, is there was this one day in Kuwait where people in Kuwait love to party, like have big parties, even like children. And the birthday parties were always like the most ridiculous experiences, like Krispy Kreme donuts and cupcakes and gifts and toys and like, 10 nannies and the mom, and just kind of comes in like a tornado. And if you don't have firm enough boundaries around what you allow and don't allow in your classroom, you're like taken on a ride, like a serious ride. Anyway, there was one day where it was just like a literal storm inside my classroom, and the family just left, and they left this gigantic mess expecting the cleaners to clean it up, and I ended up cleaning it up because it was my classroom. But anyway, I was like so stressed out, and I went into Emily's room, who's here today, Emily Abbott, her classroom, and I lay down on the floor and put my legs up on the wall doing this pose. And Emily took a picture of it, and she wrote, she calls this restorative yoga. And it just was so funny because then like 6 years later, Emily joined the Mindful Life practice, started doing Zoom yoga, became a restorative yoga teacher, and then started teaching this pose. Anyway, the beautiful thing about this pose is that it brings blood flow to your brain and your heart and your back body, and it really reduces your stress load. So keep this one in your toolbox anytime you're a school teacher in Kuwait and the families throw a crazy party. But really, anytime you experience stress, it's all just a metaphor, right? We're going to remain there for about 10 more breaths. And then after your 10th round of breath, what you're going to do is just start to make your way all the way down into a Shavasana. So you can come off the wall and just extend your legs. Stretching all the way out, anchoring through your shoulders, letting your palms roll face up. Knowing that I'm going to bring you back when the time is up.
When you're ready, wiggle through your fingers and wiggle through your toes. Taking a nice long stretch from your fingers all the way through your toes. Just curl your knees into your chest. Give your body a nice, sweet little hug. Then slowly make your way up to seated. Anchoring the palms at the heart center. Closing with our intention. It's the ancient but original intention passed from heart to heart through thousands of years. And it's that our practice remain steady and our efforts remain continuous, and that our yoga helps and heals, and it serves and it benefits all beings everywhere. May all beings be safe. May they be happy, healthy, and free. May the thoughts and the actions of each of our lives contribute towards this. Let's just finish with an Om sound, the sound of everything, the sound of nothing. So inhaling and exhaling, inhaling through to make the Om. So taking a big breath in. Big breath out. Big breath in. Thank you so much, everyone. The light in me, it sees and it honors the light in you.